Okay, I guess I can't do it like that then. Whatever. But what's going on, YouTubers, ladies and gentlemen? As I try to get things set up here, and I am unprepared. Pertains to setting things up here. Because I was coming in. I was basically finishing watching the show TNA Wrestling, pertains to TNA Impact. I'm not using StreamYard. I'm using the YouTube app here, pertains to recording live here. Last time I done something live on YouTube, from using a mobile device was probably, if I can remember, back in 2018, 2019. My guess probably 2018. And then something happened. I don't remember exactly what happened, why I couldn't do it anymore. But it was unfortunate I couldn't do it anymore. Which is why I had to had to just record, um, you know, a, a pre-record in a way, and then upload it. And that way in a way. So so I'm not using StreamYard, so I'm using it tends to using any type of music or any type of background, any type of these things, pertains to setting up shows, pertains to being the asylum and other things. So there you go. So folks, yes, I'm about to do a TNA wrestling review here about TNA Impact, the show from February 8th, 2024. I believe it was the 8th, or it was probably the 7th. No, I was right, the 8th. So, February 8th of 2024 for this TNA Impact results for this TNA Wrestling review. It's Natural Born Thriller, by the way, as I try to rise to reborn the Thriller. Haven't said that in a while, but now before I get to the show itself, folks, I want to talk more about the unfortunate, the untiming of the firing of Scott D'Amore. When I heard about this, I couldn't believe it. Now, I've seen reports of it. Obviously, I was like, no way, no way, they didn't fire this guy. As soon as I saw that report, I'm like, what, wait a minute, why is he fired? So that's when I, to see what was going on, why he got fired. It was not anything that he did. It tends to anything, that he broke the law or anything. It was nothing that he done, because he did everything right by the book. Pertains to earning the trust, pertains to in the world of professional wrestling, especially bring back the initials of TNA wrestling. This came as a shock, obviously, and obviously a lot of outrage from fans, even a lot of outrage for those talents, the rosters in TNA are not happy with this decision either. And I'm pretty sure some people executives are lower of executives and staffs and all that that basically take orders from Anthem, the higher ups of them, and Ed Norholm was still there after seeing this and some other things pertains to the job positions for these people from Anthem. But I don't think Ed Norholm would have wanted something like this to happen to Scott D'Amore. But I think at the end of the day, he's not the boss. He's not the founder. He's the CEO and all that, but he doesn't have a final say what pertains to what goes down for TNA wrestling. So obviously this was not sit in well with anyone. Pertains to after finally getting the return of TNA wrestling. This doesn't sit well with no one at all. And this also doesn't sit well with me as well. So yeah, hearing about the firing of Scott D'Amore really had changed the landscape for TNA wrestling now moving forward. And again, I'll try to get to the show once I can, but I want to talk more about Scott D'Amore before anything, because this is some out of bullshit that I've ever heard of why he got fired. He did everything right by the book. He did all. He made a lot of a lot of offenses with change to New Japan Pro Wrestling, which changed to Triple A, which changed to any other promotions that they want to give this company a chance, another chance I should say, because let's face it, this company has been getting a lot of chances over the years. Um, you know, and it's unfortunate and it's unfortunate that this news came out with this team to Scott D'Amore. Even though weeks ago Scott D'Amore was in that TNA wrestling ring, cutting that passionate, emotional promo about the initials of TNA wrestling, and pertains to the TNA talents of for those of the X division, of the knockouts, and even in the tag team division, and it even pertains to the heavyweight division, and all those guys that busted their ass and all that. Minus of who I feel about most of them of of it all. But at the end of the day, you know, Scott D'Amore let it all out in that ring. Even said to a point where if he would drop dead as he goes behind the curtain, go back behind that curtain and all that, you know, it was something to the fact that he know that he done something right, where it pertains to the to his company, because it's about being passionate and all. And now here's the thing about this report. My worries about Scott D'Amore is that was that he did pass. That was my worry when I first saw that report. Um, Not knowing, seeing that report, never once crossed my mind that he was going to be fired from TNA Wrestling after everything that he's done for TNA Wrestling. Um, pertains to working relationships and building up the brand and all. And doing some things, along the way pertains to things that I don't agree with and all. Obviously, yeah. Yep, if you see me reviewing before pertains to TNA Wrestling, yeah, I know there's some things that I didn't agree with what they did on the show there, but at the same time, some people loved it. I don't get it, but at the end of the day, it's all about entertaining your fan base at the end of the day, if they find it entertaining in a way. But but what entertains me most is what they do in that ring. Minus the comedy skits and the things that also they've been doing pertains to throwback shows that they do, whatever that's called, pertains to that whole thing. Um, but what I'm gonna do here, folks, is I'm gonna first read this report. Um, Before I do, I'm gonna recap of what was sent to me from the Omega Red. Shout out to him, by the way. Where it pertains to I saw on Instagram, which was from PW Insider, and this is as it follows of what was right here. Again from and pertains to PW Insider. This is from their Instagram, which is they're under the name of PWE official underscore, and this is what was posted on there as a read follows here. A number of TNA talents on the Zoom call when they were informed of Scott D'Amore's departure relayed that during the meeting it was stated that D'Amore has stepped down from the company, which was not the case. I believe that. This didn't sit well with some talents, and as one wrestler said, this wasn't the way to start off a relationship with the locker room, especially since so many had connected with Scott D'Amore and the vast majority like him. The meeting did not give talents a chance to ask any questions, which did not endear some talents to the changes. The beginning of the call, when talents were informed about Scott D'Amore's departure from Anthem execs joined them, was very angry with some talents. I was very angry for some talents, I should say. That was of what I saw. that was within the whole thing. Before I get to more of that, pertains to more of the story about this whole thing with Scott D'Amore's departure. I just want to say, pertains to that statement alone. Yeah, because Scott D'Amore, after coming back in 2017 and doing what he's got to do to rebuild the brand, despite having an identity crisis. Thanks a lot, fucking Bruce Pritchard. Fuck you for that. TNA's dead. No, you're fucking dead. Your fucking career is dead. And your career should be dead. By being next guy to be outed out of the company. But back to trying to rebrand and to bring goodwill back to this company, to other promotions as well. And change to with the identity crisis, that they were just called Impact Wrestling, no longer called TNA Wrestling, and it was going to go by GFW, Global Force Wrestling, until Jeff Jarrett fucked that up. And then end up still being called TNA, just called Impact Wrestling, and and the whole thing with Alberto Patron, they had to deal with Alberto the dipshit, the whole thing with Austin Aries, with the whole thing with Don Callis, and and doing some other things that I didn't think I agree with and all that, but people loved it at the end of the day. I'm not gonna get to what they love when it comes to that type of sports entertainment. The only thing I did love was Wrestle House, but the other things they did wasn't a fan of. But Scott D'Amore doing all this, and then doing working relationships back, getting tends to like Triple A, and New Japan Pro Wrestling, apologizing to Kazuchika Okada for how he was treated during that time in TNA when Vince Russo was there. And then Scott D'Amore basically put himself out there on TV, and being not just a character, but also being also contribute as a character on the screen, going fused with Bully Ray and all that, and going to a flaming table. I think that's what they did, a flaming table spot for him. Basically, and come back to wrestling in a way, but storyline wise, doing all that, and then finally bring back the initial TNA Wrestling, and then again from weeks ago, after that match we saw from Josh Alexander and Will Ospreay, that Scott D'Amore cut that passionate, emotional promo pertains to the initial TNA Wrestling, saying all that after everything he's done for his company. You're telling me, based on how the reports are, it's going to try to convince me and everyone else to say, oh yeah, Scott D'Amore, he did a great job for of doing what he can for this company, for Impact Wrestling, Global Force Wrestling, back to Impact Wrestling, and then now we're officially back as TNA Wrestling after all these years. Even on going through the whole pandemic with the whole lockdown, like a legit lockdown, not minus the TNA Wrestling lockdown pay-per-views, which that needs to be brought back. But at this point now, what does it matter? Scott D'Amore's gone anyways. At this point, I don't want to see TNA lockdown now. After hearing this departure, but you tell me after all that Scott D'Amore did, and then him going out there and cut that passionate, emotional promo that he just turned around and said, I think it's time for me to step down. I think it's time for me to pursue my other elsewhere in other wrestling promotions. If you honestly believe that, that Scott D'Amore will do all that just to say, I'm out here. Bullshit. And y'all should not believe that, by the way. None of y'all should believe that. That's one of the most ridiculous things I've fucking ever heard in my entire life of watching professional wrestling. So, let's go to another report before we get to covering the show now. Because again, this does not sit well with me at all, folks. This is one of the most bullshit things they could have ever done. Anthem fucking sucks for doing that shit. And now Scott D'Amore has been replaced by someone who is working for Anthem, who I guarantee you doesn't know jack shit about pro wrestling. And based on the report I read to you, no surprise. I won't be surprised if this be another kid, the male version of Dixie Carter out of this person. Maybe his name is Dick Carter in disguise, and a wolf in sheep's clothing, and he's gonna be getting text messages or something like that, or emails by Vince Russo to say this, you should do this on the show and do that on the show. That you might as well just do that now, since you got rid of Scott D'Amore, who did everything to help bring back TNA wrestling and help this company for what it was after all these years being bastardized. You might as well just bring back Vince Russo. I mean, what worse could you do other than firing Scott D'Amore? And you might as well just bring back Dixie Carter back in the fold. You have her be the on-screen character again, like her dad wanted her to be. Obviously, this is upsetting me a lot, folks. But let me read you this article here. That's from WrestleZone, which contains two more details about Scott D'Amore got released. And as it reads, this report of the article, it says Scott D'Amore attempted to buy TNA Wrestling shortly before being terminated. I could believe that. Scott D'Amore probably I'm pretty sure he wanted to purchase TNA Wrestling. Just like others in the past, that during that time, like a Jeff Jarrett and Toby Keith. I'll get to one of that later, by the way. What things to talk about, Toby Keith, but and if you see my also the being inside episode that I did, I'll talk about that too, and I'm pretty sure you know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you know what that's about too. But maybe read this article now. So we now have more details regarding Scott D'Amore's recent termination from TNA Wrestling. This article was from yesterday, so here it is. Yesterday, the wrestling world got another shock when Anthem announced that former TNA president Scott D'Amore has been terminated from his position in the company. Anthem employee Anthony Cizino, I'm assuming that's his name. Basically, who was announced as TNA's new president of of TNA wrestling going forward. So yeah, this is the guy. That's the guy who probably who replaced Scott D'Amore, who doesn't know jack shit about pro wrestling. Basically, like it's like another Dixie Carter. Dixie Carter who want to get into wrestling business, but doesn't know shit about wrestling though. The comment always hear from Kevin Nash and from others. Nice lady, beautiful lady, but don't know jack shit about wrestling. Which is why she has some help, like a Vince Russo, like a Jeff Jarrett, like a a Terry Taylor, like a Dutch Mantel, like a whoever else at the time was there as well. Takes to help Jerry Jarrett. But let me continue on. So in a new update from Mike Johnson from PW Insider, the head of Anthem, Len Asper, and Scott D'Amore came to a crossroads of sorts when it came to how TNA should should operate going forward. And of course, Scott D'Amore didn't win that one because Asper won out that whole thing. Sometime in the last few weeks, D'Amore approached Anthem with an offer to buy TNA Wrestling from Anthem. D'Amore backed this offer with a letter with a major banking situation. I mean, institution, I was to say. Despite this, Anthem turned down Scott D'Amore's offer. Okay, I understand. They wanted to turn down his offer. That's fine. Just Scott D'Amore was like, okay. We'll come across this another time. If you are interested. If of me buying this company. So like, okay, that's fine. But why fire him though? That's all he did was just offer that he wanted to buy the company from Anthem. And not only they said no, but they decided to fire him. Let me continue more reading this here, just to understand more how everything that's transpired here. One more, folks. Sorry about that. Had to take care of something. Um, but let me continue. Let me continue on reading here. So, so Johnson states that Mike Johnson, by the way, he states that Scott D'Amore was made aware that changes was coming in TNA wrestling within the week. Within the last week, and half, and was not caught off guard by Anthem's decision. Several members of the roster have often praised and support for Scott D'Amore on social media over the past 24 hours. And I guess that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it there. I'm gonna read another article, by the way. From here, from WrestleView. Okay, where is it? Obviously, it's the same article here in a way, but from a different reporter. Basically, Scott D'Amore reportedly tried to purchase TNA prior to being fired. Yeah, obviously, it was he's basically getting this information when it comes to PW Insider. So, but yeah, I figured it was gonna be the same thing. So, the report further states that Anthem has been seeking to better integrate the wrestling promotion under its entertainment wing, including cross promotion with other Access TV programmings for more opportunities for the brand to maximize money on each side. The firing of Scott D'Amore and subsequences of hiring Anthony Cicino had not led to any further changes in creative or exits from TNA. One more, folks. Sorry about the interruption. Someone was calling me. A number I don't recognize. So, anyways, um, but yeah, like I said, sorry, folks. I'm sorry. Sorry about that, folks. Again, it was same number, but it was a number I don't recognize, so I had to let it know wrong number. So, anyways, back to what I was saying here. Um, so yeah, even though I'm hearing about this report, folks, no creative changes are or anything, there's no creative will not be changed of anything, despite Scott Moss being fired. Still, it doesn't make it right though. I can never you know look at TNA wrestling the same while Scott D'Amore being there. This company itself will not be the same without Scott D'Amore. Scott D'Amore has given a lot of people opportunities in TNA wrestling. Guys like Eddie Edwards, Moose, Trinity, Jordan Grace, Deanna Perrazzo, even Joe Hendry. I don't get that at all. Even people that he that even that don't deserve to be there, like like from the past. I'm not gonna get too much of that, but um, giving Bully Ray opportunities. Eric Young, Frankie Kazarian, giving Connor, now being called Khan, and now also brought in someone else here in TNA Wrestling, which we'll get to that. Um, Josh Alexander, just just to name a few, that that even to pertains to Chris Sabin, who's got a position of power and behind the scenes as well. So, and I'm pretty sure Scott D'Amore didn't want Tom Dreamer to get fired, by the way. Back in when he was under his defense of Ric Flair from that Dark Side of the Ring episode about the Paramount from Hell. Um, Rhino getting opportunities. Heath got an opportunity. Um, um, Jade. Jade Chung, the wife of Josh Alexander. Steve Macklin and bring in Nick Nemeth, bring in Ash, by Elegance. And also, I'm pretty sure he convinced PCO to resign with them because they'll bring back TNA Wrestling. Because PCO was gonna be out. He's gonna be gone. He was gonna get in their notice, but then he decided to stay because he believes the vision of Scott D'Amore of this company. And now it's all been has been terminated in a way. The irony of that. So, I'm sorry I'm going too long with this, folks, for this rant. But it's upsetting me. And there's petitions out there. I did sign a petition on that song on Twitter. Like, even though it's not gonna really do much, it's not gonna really change a thing. Anthem made up their minds either way. And after reading this report that Scott D'Amore wanted to purchase the company, and then after decided they want to fire him because of that, because he want to purchase the company from them. Very shady that they did that. I don't agree with this at all. I don't get why they even want to do that. This is ridiculous that this had to happen. I don't know. I just don't know, folks. It's really upsetting me, this happened with Scott D'Amore. So where does he go from here? Some people say he should go to AEW to retain to do some a Ring of Honor. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, or some influence that he could do. He could make a difference there. That way Tony Khan could focus more about his AEW product instead of worrying about Ring of Honor. But I don't know. It's just it's really fucked up, folks, that this happened. And obviously, the talents are not happy, especially Moose, Jordan Grace, a few people. I don't know if I'm hearing. Josh Alexander. Obviously, they're not happy with this decision. So much that they want to do. They probably don't want. They probably want to walk out. One here, Moose said, I think I heard something about Moose. If Scott D'Amore were to be gone from TNA, then he wants out of the company, and he's the TNA World Champion. Jordan Grace, the Knockouts World Champion. She probably wants out too. She didn't resign, by the way, with TNA Wrestling. Because I'm pretty sure Scott D'Amore convinced her to resign as well, because she was gone from the company back in 2013. I mean, back in 2023. Like around from the summertime. She was gone, but then she resigned because Scott D'Amore convinced her. Scott D'Amore has done a lot for this company, and this is how they repay him. They fire him because he wanted to purchase TNA Wrestling from them. So, I got nothing else to say of this, folks. Other than hashtag we want Scott, which is that's the trend out there right now for us TNA Wrestling fans. We want hashtag we want Scott. It's bullshit. Now, how am I going to continue on this review? Well, I'll try to do my best to do so. So let me find the results here for TNA Impact from February 8th, 2023. 2024. Obviously, the show is building up for No Surrender that's coming up, and for after that, they'll be building up for Rebellion. The show opened up first of all with a graphic of Toby Keith, who unfortunately passed away due to stomach cancer. So great that TNA did a graphic for Toby Keith, because Toby Keith he decided to back in 2002 when TNA Wrestling first started, NWA TNA at the time, where he declined an offer to go to the White House just to be at a TNA Wrestling show to perform his one of his songs, because he was a huge wrestling fan, huge. And somewhere down that line, from a few years later, from there, Toby Keith and Jeff Jarrett was going to purchase TNA Wrestling, because it is DC Carter's daddy's money. That is is what how this company started in the first place. And unfortunately, that never happened, because Daddy wanted his daughter, I should say, to be a factor on screen whatever role, and it was some that I can't remember exactly why or in a way, but still, so yeah, a lot of ways that TNA Wrestling could have been purchased during those times, and Scott D'Amore, you think he was the first? No, he wasn't the first, and he sure said won't be the last. If that ends up being the case, for the next time that someone wants to purchase TNA Wrestling. So, but rest in peace, Toby Keith. Very sad that he passed away. We got a recap of what happened to Kushida by the hands of the System, which is Moose, Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, and Alicia Edwards. So Moose will be defending his TNA World Championship title against Alex Shelley at No Surrender, which is going to be on February 24th, 2 weeks from Saturday. So TNA Impact pertains to also Rebellion pay-per-view, which is going to be on April 20th, which is going to be on the Saturday. That will be in Las Vegas, Nevada. Pretty cool. Alright, so now let's get to the show itself now, because we got the opening show round match here. Chris Sabin, the X Division champion, versus John Skyler, who's being covered by Jason Hotch of the Good Hands. And match itself, I didn't really care for the match that much. I thought it was alright, but Chris Sabin won. So, but the jackets though that the Good Hands were wearing was pretty cool though. So I'll just say that. Gia Miller interviews Alex Shelley. Alex Shelley basically vows to send a message to the entire System that he, once he battles Eddie Edwards and all that, and basically says something about he will become TNA World Champion again against Moose, because he has a rematch clause. So, talks about Steels versus Xia Brookside, Part 2. Now, I did get a chance to watch, I should say. I did get a chance to see the exclusive interview that Xia Li had with Tom Hennigan. Tom Hennigan was basically was interviewing Xia Brookside, and she was telling a story about her dad, because her dad, Robbie Brookside, was also a wrestler. And she talks about she wants to be in the wrestling business, but her dad to her no at the time. And then she, like any teenager would do at the time, sneak into out of the house or whatever, and then train to wrestle wherever. And she has a told her that her dad she that she was training whatever and everything. And then her dad was like, well, that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. Follow your goals. So at that point he was okay with that. Tasha Steelz, Brookside also was talked about with hands to beating a former TNA Knockouts World Champion in Tasha Steelz. And also, speaking of, Tasha Steelz shows up, kicks out Tom Hennigan, and she and Brookside have exchange of words, and they also have a match again, and they did it here, and the match is so. I enjoyed the match for what it was. A decent match out of these two. A match that I actually did care for. And then, so I'm thinking to myself, so I know, Tasha Steelz not gonna lose this one. She's gonna probably, get a win. They're gonna do the whole 50-50 booking that they're unknown for, and sure enough, they did. And but how she won? She had a handful of tights, Tasha Steelz, and she got the win. So they're gonna build another match between these two, which I'm pretty sure is gonna be at no surrender. And that's where they're probably gonna break the the tie there between the two there. So ABC, which is Ace and Bay, Ace Bay Connection from Bullet Club. They talk about their loss in the best 3 series, the first match they had against the Grizzly Young Vets, where they had to cheat to win, take shortcuts, and also they got attacked by them, and then Ace Austin arm was slammed onto the roll case, one of those crates that no, I mean not crates, one of those cases that they always see backstage, pertains to any wrestling promotions, and makes his basically his arm was smashed on there. Now there was no match on this one, the second match for the best of 3 series. So I guess they're doing it once every 2 weeks they'll do it, because obviously they did it last week. This week they didn't do it, but they'll do it next week. Especially after having to hear the Ace Austin, I highly thought that it was ever going to be a second match on this week. And then obviously next week ABC will win. That way it'll be 1-1, and then they'll break the tie once we get to No Surrender. Cause I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be. No Surrender is going to be where the dirt match is going to happen. Mike Bailey versus Zachary Wentz with Trinity at ringside. Good match. I enjoyed this match for what it was. It was basically the best match on the show. Next to the main event, which I'll get to, but Zachary Wentz gets to win. Obviously due to cheating. And after the match, they continue on attacking on Chris, on Mike Bailey. Also, we get Trent Seven. Finally, he makes his debut to TNA Wrestling. After he couldn't make it too hard to kill because he had trouble issues because of it was at the time it was a bad weather at the time, wherever that's probably what it was. But he shows up and he saves his tag team partner. Also he gets attacked by Steve Macklin, and then all of a sudden the numbers game was getting the better of them. Onto Mike Bailey and Trent Seven. What they call Speedball Mountains, not that. Also, Nick Nemeth comes out, makes it even, and they retreat it, and they stand. Obviously the babyfaces stand tall. Khan, he self-proclaimed himself the baddest man in TNA, and he's gonna prove that once we get to this match. TNA Wrestling announces that they're teaming up with Powertown Wrestling to bring back TNA action figures and other things as well. So good. That's good. So after being blindsided I'm on the next one here. After being blindsided by Chrissy Steve on Explosion, Rhino had an enraged promo. Tends to Chrissy Steve, and he's gonna take that. This will mean the title. Next week once he get by giving him the gore, gore. There you go. That was a good promo, by the way. And Rhino also dropped some F-bombs, which they bleeded. So, they bleeped it, I should say. TNA Knockouts World Champion Jordan Grace and Trinity versus from the Shaw Entourage, Giselle Shaw and Savannah Evans. Match was alright for what it was. Also pertains to the Shaw Entourage. You also had Jay Vendel. That's his name. He didn't factor too much in the match, but same time, the winners ends up being Jordan Grace and Trinity. I don't know how much more TV matches that Trinity's gonna have, which pertains to Naomi now being back in WWE. Which, by the way, I need to talk about that too, by the way, folks, because I missed the part of last week's SmackDown, with the backstage segment that they did with Naomi. She was there. I just didn't see that part because obviously there's some other things I didn't see on there as well. But that's not the point. The point is, I missed the part where that Naomi has signed with SmackDown, so she's gonna be on SmackDown to be close to her husband Jimmy Uso, and yeah, so good that she's there on SmackDown, and good that she's back there too. I think she got that system out of her, which is to be in TNA Wrestling / Impact Wrestling. She got her foot wet, and she bet on herself pretty well, and she did so in all flying colors, which all glowed. But I digress. And now she's back to feel more of that glow back in WWE. So, as far as who she's gonna wrestle, and it pertains to Trinity, aka Naomi, what she's gonna be doing now in WWE. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Whatever stories they got for Naomi, for WWE, it's gonna be booked a lot better, and being it's gonna be taking a lot more of some good creatives, unlike the old regime where when they didn't know what to do with her, and they just got her random things and all that, and everything. It was a mess. So the old regime is no longer there, which is one of the reasons why she left in the first place. And now she's back, and she's on she's working in a better regime that can treat her well and make sure that she's clearly happy with her storyline. So there you go. AJ Francis interrupted Dina for kind of promo, and basically it tends to try to help him out, whatever. Also, Joe Hendry shows up because they say his name and he appear. So he tells Joe Hendry, AJ Francis, that the world really thinks of what they really think of him. And I can really care less. But AJ Francis left. Basically, he's gonna make Joe Hendry regret what he just said there. And then Diener told Joe Hendry, only anyone sticking up for me and don't touch me, and that was it. Yeah. Don't know where they're going with this whole thing with Diener, but he looked like he's directionless. Khan, he destroyed Richard Adonis and Ori Gold. Who are these guys? They're jobbers. So Khan he won the match, and he was good for more damage, but then also PCO returns, and he's being revived by mad doctors there, and he was only for PCO get beaten up by Khan on stage, and then he's beating up those doctors, those mad doctors on stage. And the fight happened between PCO and Khan. I wasn't a fan of the fight, to be honest, because I'm still feeling a little upset that Scott D'Amore has been fired. So again, me seeing TNA wrestling, it doesn't feel the same after hearing about Scott D'Amore being fired. Hopefully that changes, because I really don't want to give up on this company. I really don't, because there's a lot of great talents in TNA wrestling, despite the poor, dumbass decisions that Anthem made by even letting go of Scott D'Amore in the first place. But and we had security to try to get up and everything. That was a fail. Which probably there was one security that I did recognize in there, a woman. And you're wondering, okay, what's that got to do with anything? Well, why am I bringing this up? Because I wish I could have taken this picture, by the way, but I can't do it right now. I'll do it next time. But I saw one of the women that was right behind Tom Hennigan and Matthew Rayro, doing when they were doing commentary, and they was going to announce some things. That was going to be for TNA Impact and some other things. That involves No Surrender. I see that same woman that was right behind them, acting like she was a fan. And I said, wait a minute, isn't that the one of the securities during this whole thing with Kong and PCO? I've seen how she looked. I saw her make. I know that blonde hair. I know the facial of her face. I know how the makeup that she had on and everything. She was playing the security, and then all of a sudden she is later on right behind of Tom Hennigan and Matt Rebo as a fan, saying TNA. Who the fuck thought someone like me wasn't gonna call that shit out? Are you serious? I mean, if you're gonna do if you're gonna do that, put her somewhere else. Like somewhere else on the front row. Did you have to put it right there where where you're doing this whole thing with Tom Hennigan and Scott D'Amore? I mean, Tom Hennigan and Matthew Rebo making this announcement about their no surrenders and other things they're going to be doing leading up to for this month. Did you think that I was going to see that? Did you think that I was going to lower my intelligence and say, oh yeah, she's a devout a very devoted TNA wrestling fan, a passionate a passionate TNA wrestling fan, I should say. How the hell do you think someone like me wasn't going to catch that shit? Again, I'll show you proof of that on next time, folks. Not. In fact, I'll probably do it for Being the Sound later on tonight. Yeah, I'll probably do that. I want to bring the subject up. I want to bring the subject up anyways later on tonight. So I'll do that. I'll do that later on then. But anyways, but I wasn't a fan of this fight, by the way, of PCO and Kong. They continue on fighting until they fall off backstage, wherever. Josh Alexander versus Alan Angels. I didn't really care for the match that much, but it happened, and guess who wins? Yeah, it was not going to be Alan Angels who won. It was Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander won the match. So after the match, Josh Alexander is clapping, is giving fans high five, and one of them who got a high five from by Josh Alexander attacks Josh Alexander. Like, I'm seeing this, like, what the hell? And then he attacks him like who is this guy? All of a sudden he takes off his bandana that he covered his he's covering like he's wearing a face mask and his cap, and it was revealed to be Simon Gotch. I'm like, what? Simon Gotch, the former tag team partner of Matthew Raybo when Matthew Raybo was in the English, when they were the Von Villains. Simon Gotch is there now. Like, what the hell? Like, wait a minute. Why is he attacking, of all people, Josh Alexander? And then Tom Hennigan was talking to Matthew Raybo, saying, did you know about this? And I'm like, are you serious? And by the way, I believe that's where I caught that female security at that point. But back to this. Like, are you serious? Tom Hennigan, like, Matthew Raybo was just as surprised as you were, and you're asking him, did you know about this? Did you know he was gonna be there? That was ridiculous. I mean, I love Tom Hennigan and all that, but come on, that was dumb what he just said there. Alright, but this is what they were announcing next week. ABC will battle the Grizzly Young Vets in the second match of the best of the 3 series for the TNA World Tag Team Championships. Rhino will challenge Crazy Steve for the Digital Media Championship. Frankie Kazarian, which, by the way, I'm talking about this. Frankie Kazarian was walking backstage. He was confronted by Jake Something. And Jake Something tells, Frankie Kazarian, what's going on with you? Like, I'm used to look up to you. And then, Kazarian cuss him up and say, wait a minute, you used to look up to me? So, what? Because what I did, you don't look up to me no more? And then Jake Something's like, you know what? I'm not talking, so I'm going to do more talking with you in the ring. And that's what we're going to get next week. TNA World Champion Moose will be in action against Kushida next week as well. Plus, we finally get to hear from Ash by Elegance. So we're finally going to get the presentation, the full, minus, TNA Hard to Kill. We're finally going to get the full presentation to hear from Ash by Elegance, the former Dana Brooke. And you'll see, folks, you'll see with your own eyes that this is not no ripoff. This is not no, gimmick Frenchman that she's doing of Timeless Tony Storm. It's not the same thing. This is not, Ash by Elegance is not Timeless Tony Storm. And you're going to see how that looks next week. Now, I don't know if she's going to have a match too. All it says here is that we're going to hear from her. So we're going to hear from her, to hear how she speaks, how she handles herself on the mic, how she carry herself as a character, and see what happens when we see Ash by Elegance when she makes her TNA Impact debut next week. I cannot wait, and the reason I cannot wait because I want to see the look on everyone's faces to see how dumb they look after calling her out by saying, "Oh, she's ripping off Timeless Tony Storm. This is Tony Storm's gimmick. She thinks she's could pull up very good like Tony Storm can." Here's the thing, when it comes to Dana Brooke's acting, she sucks. So highly unlikelihood. I don't know how Eric Riff always says it, but you get what I'm trying to say. I doubt that Dana Brooke knows how to act like how Tony Storm can act. Tony Storm, she does a good job acting, by the way. So, but we shall see how Ash by Elegance is being presented. All right, let me see something here, folks. Just give me one moment. Okay, cool. Okay, I can't do that. Okay. All right, folks. Here we go. Eddie Edwards with Alicia Edwards versus Alex Shelley, the main event. Good match. Good main event match here. Obviously, interferences, was a factor in all this, but it didn't matter because Alex Shelley wins with defeating Eddie Edwards. At the match, Barbarians goes in to attack. Eddie Edwards joins along in the fight. Kushida comes in for the save, and then Kevin Dyke also comes in for the save as well. And by the way, there was no moves, by the way. For a reason, there was no moves there. I don't know why he was there, but there you go. But there you go. Kevin Dyke, stand tall with Kushida and Alex Shelley, and that's how the show ends. There you go. And that'll conclude your TNA Impact results, folks, from February 8th, 2024. Just give me a moment, folks. The TNA Wrestling. 7 matches. No, actually, 8 matches. This can't be right. Maybe count again. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did count it wrong. 7 matches. Minus the squash match that Khan had with these 2 jobbers. But that's TNA Wrestling. 7 matches. So my overall show rating for the show, I'm gonna go with a 6. It was a decent show. Again, the fallout of the show, the fallout of Scott D'Amore's departure is, it didn't really really excite me to watch the show that much. Anyways, it still upset me to a point where my excitement basically it completely leaked out of me because of that. So, can't believe they fired him. I cannot believe that. But there you go, folks. That's basically it from there. So I'm gonna wrap it up from here. Maybe see something here, folks. I could have changed the Oh look, now I'm Timeless Tony Storm, folks. I'm black and white. I'm Timeless Tony Storm now. Just kidding. But anyways, let me check out this filter here. Oh yeah, I remember these filters. I remember these filters, by the way. I'm used to use these filters all the time. Good thing it's still out there though. Oh man, like check this out. Anyways, all right, I was just having fun here. But there you go, folks. That will do it for here. So thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being part of the stream. Okay. I'm about to say I ruined the live recording here. Okay. So there you go, folks. If that's all I got to do for me, that's all I have to say here. Now how do I end this though? By pressing exit here. The X, I guess. Let me see what else is here. Star poll. I'll do that next time. Okay. And I could share something here too, but I didn't, so whatever. But there you go, folks. Tune in later on tonight, folks, because later tonight, following after SmackDown, we will do Being the Asylum episode 112. So be on the lookout for that one for later on tonight. In the meantime, thank you for watching once again. For It's Natural Born Driller, as I say, peace on the streets. To all you be well, stay safe, take care of yourself, everything that's going on in the world, and that's pretty much it. I am out here. Ta-ta for now, as I bid you all in Abdu, with a little goodbye and good night. Shout out to Kenny Omega and CM Punk and Kushida, and any other wrestlers that are have been dealing with some illness or injuries or whatever have you, and come back as soon as I can. So there you go. But folks, until next time, which later on tonight, again, to plug in again, Being the Asylum 112 to the later on tonight. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves and each other, and God bless.